Nirodha, is very simply put, is, I mean, it has different contexts depending upon the usage, but in this context that we're referring to, it's a state, it's a way of meditation in which everything kind of shuts down. And so it's like you go through, first you need to have to be able to develop those skills through the preceding stages of what are known as the jhanas, or the levels of samadhi that I had initially talked about, where you go into infinite space and infinite consciousness and so on. But Nirodha, or Nirodha-samāpatti, is generally translated in English as the cessation of perception, feeling, and consciousness. So in this context, perception is basically memory, or the ability to recognize things and the different conceptual ways of thinking. Feeling is not our emotions. Feeling is all of the bare sensations that we have through the eyes, ears, nose, body, tongue, and mind. And consciousness here is the bare knowledge of what is happening, the awareness of what is happening. And so in this state of Nirodha, what happens is all concepts just go away. All sensations stop or are no longer being received, and awareness switches off. So I don't know that I've been in Nirodha, because you can't know it subjectively until you come out of it. And when you come out of it, you experience what's known as nirvana. And nirvana is basically a state, for lack of a better word, where the mind experiences unconditional reality, the unconditioned, which is beyond karma, beyond the relative and the absolute. And the utility of this process of going into Nirodha is primarily to attain that state of nirvana, but also it gives total rest to the entire biology. Because the longer periods, because this is what's being found out through the initial research that I had been conducted into at I think in Netherlands and at Harvard, or Massachusetts General Hospital, which is that as you start to do this for longer periods of time, it actually lowers the heart rate, it lowers the metabolism, it lowers the blood pressure, into where now the researchers are starting to speculate and starting to develop, I suppose they're developing a hypothesis that this might be tapping into some evolutionary, human evolutionary hibernation practice or process, where we actually might even stop or slow down the process of decay of the cells and so on, because the heart rate starts to diminish, everything starts to diminish, the metabolism starts to diminish, so the cells have to work less, for their energy and so on. So that might be one of the case studies or use cases of this practice. But within the context of meditation, within the context of mental development, the whole purpose is to revitalize the senses so that you are much more attentive and mindful to how reality actually works.